Leo Gang. I'm Vince.
And I'm Al, and welcome to another LEOBROS show. Vince, what's good, bro?
Nothing much. For those of you who don't know, what would you say? Is the Walkout, is that also an elementary school? Or is it just high school?
I feel like
it's just high school.
I feel like it's a high. I think it's high school. Just to think about. Imagine like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Okay, that's kindergarten. But imagine like 9, 10-year-olds coordinating those kind of things. I don't know if they.
Yeah.
I think it was just a high school thing.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, today was Al and I's school walkout, which I think it was everybody's today as well. However, I was not at school, so Al, I know this is one of our topics. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I want to hear how yours went today.
All right. So I have a funny story, and actually I texted Vince. So I'm actually going to give some background behind it so that you kind of understand the situation that I went through this morning. So for me, my school, we run on a 4-bell system, kind of like 4 periods a day, which is kind of weird, I guess, compared to other people. It was a really big transition for me. So I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to go to first period because I have an online class. And when I typically leave, I get to miss a good chunk of the school day. So I'm getting ready to leave, and my mom actually, we have like a routine, crazy how routines work. And my mom typically leaves around the same time to drop my little brother off at school. And so for some reason, I don't know, one thing led to another, and my keys ended up in my mom's purse. So she left like 2 minutes before me. I'm coming downstairs after doing my hair. And
oh, looking good.
Appreciate it, bro. And then all of a sudden, fam.
All of a sudden, fam.
Shout out to Kais, man. Kais was good, bro. Kais Omar.
Kais TV.
I come downstairs, I'm like, where are my keys? So for me, I have it down to a science where I have it like I'm going out the door with my keys, and I'm always like just in time for school. It's just science, and my keys aren't where they usually are. So I'm like, where are they? So I start checking a little bit, and then I call my mom, and it ends up that my keys are in her purse. And so she's like, I'm sorry, I'm talking to school, we're gonna have an excused absence or whatever. And like all of that craziness, kind of like I forgot about this whole school walkout thing. I just forgot about it. So by the time she gets home and I get the keys, I'm pulling into my school at 9:50, and the walkout was scheduled for 10 o'clock. And when I'm pulling in, like right in the entrance, it was weird because we have a security guard who like directs traffic. Like my school's that big, he has to like direct traffic when the school day starts, when it's ending. He's out there. Our principal's like right at the entrance when you're pulling in, and some other person. And so I like had to like stop, and I rolled down my window because I was like, they weren't moving. Like I was assuming that I would drive and they would move away. They just like stood there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop and roll down my window. I'm like, hey, principal, so and so, how are you? Like, what's this? And so he basically told me about the whole walkout thing. I was like, oh crap, I forgot. And he was like, are you gonna be participating in it? I'm like, no, I don't really intend to. I don't know. They were kind of interrogating me. I don't know why. But anyway, I got out. Have a nice day. Park, and by the time I'm walking in, it's 9:56. And when I come in, the entire like school board is there. The entire office staff of my school is there. A lot of the teachers, a lot of the guidance counselors, they're all there. And I'm like signing in like, okay, I'm trying to get into class. So when I finally get there, like everyone's by the entrance. It was really weird. I started walking to class, and as soon as I start walking to class, of course, that's when everyone starts walking out of their class. So by the time I walk in, it's only my teacher and a couple other students. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to stay in here because I'm not the biggest advocator and I'm not, I think we should have change, but I'm not to that point where I would walk out of my classroom. So even if I weren't getting to school late, I don't think I would have intended to go. But it was just a crazy morning. And so I've seen some Snapchat videos and Snapchat stories of a lot of people actually ended up there. And there was like 17 seconds of silence, which I respect. Prayer circles, which I respect. They had this like weird chants going on, which it was weird, but it happened to the entire nation. It affected the entire nation. It was intended to be a month after the Parkside. Is it Parkside or Parkland?
Parkland.
Parkland. Sorry. The Parkland shooting. It was intended to be 17 minutes for the 17 deaths. So I love the uniformity about that, and I also love how my school was willing to comply. They were there for security purposes. They didn't want anything to happen to their students while they allowed them to peacefully protest. So I respect that. I think in some ways it's good that we have a lot of these young people in our nation that are taking a step and voicing out their concerns and their frustrations and demanding change. But at the same time, I would say about 75% of them, don't quote me because it's just a made up fact, don't actually know and don't actually have an argument for it. So it was a crazy day. But Vince, what are your thoughts on this whole walkout thing? And we talked about guns previously and actually last week. So if you want to go check that out, go check that out. But Vince, what are your thoughts?
Like I said, I was not at school today, but I'll tell you what I would have done even if I was. I wouldn't have walked out, not because, if I were to be walking out, it would be because I feel bad for the 17 lives that were lost and the 17 families in which were affected. However, I'm not going to be walking out to either, and I'm not staying in to show if I support the Second Amendment or not. I'm not going to be staying in to, say I want the schools to remain the same. I'm not going to walk out to make sure that the schools remain the same, or change, I should say. The reason I would be staying inside is because all of this is around a school shooting, right? Where the kids are the target. So you go outside and a giant hurdle, a giant circle of kids. Man, wouldn't it be a tragic place for some gun violence or a stabbing to take place, or a bomb, or worse? I mean, I don't know. That being said, these walkouts have been planned weeks in advance, so that gives plenty of time for kids to prepare, an adult to hurdle in. I mean, Al, when you were saying how you had like a principal and a guy that directs traffic, I thought they were going to stop you rolling in with your car and be like, hey, thinking you're an intruder. That's what I thought you were going to say. And I'm like, ooh, yikes. That would suck. Because if I was outside in that crowd, and although none of the kids... Wow, that was a little weird. What's
funny.
What's going on there?
A little earthquake in there going on.
Dude, if the ghost of the 17 kids been like, how dare you not go outside?
Bro.
How dare you? Today, and I can't even go to school.
Bro, oh my gosh. It's not funny. Oh my god.
Boy, I was as lucky as you.
You be careful, you're gonna end up being a ghost too.
That's funny. I feel bad for those 17 families, though. I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. Hope you're a friendly ghost, wherever you may be. You're up there with the man upstairs. Okay, not the point.
Talking about Casper? Casper, the friendly ghost.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, alright. So, so if I saw a car rolling in like that, I'm getting the heck out of there, so I think it's an intruder. I guess when I'm inside the classroom, I don't think about, man, what if somebody were to just bust open that door and they're an intruder right now? I don't think of that. But if I go outside and I'm surrounded by all those kids, that's going to be the only thing on my mind, not huddling together to say a prayer. As much as I would want that to be my state of mind, it just wouldn't be. So for that reason, if I did go to school today, that's my ideology and my decision that I would not do the walkout. So both of us didn't do the walkout, even if I was there. That's my whole thoughts on it. And thankfully, if there was an incident that happened in that walkout, we would have heard about it on the news. coaches. So thankfully that never once happened, and that's a blessing. And I was wrong, but it doesn't mean it couldn't have happened. So all in all, everything went over well today. I'm really happy about that. I get to have the time to watch some of these videos on the walkouts, and I'm going to. So yeah. I'm interested to see how that.
Yeah, and we both had our reasonings behind it, and we're both kind of entitled to it. For me, I wouldn't have been able to make it out anyway. It actually was intended for, well, a lot of the principals suggested that the walkout would, kids would walk out of our class and go into the cafeteria, which, it's kind of lame, but then again, they're thinking about safety and just your intentions as well. Like, something could have happened, it was planned. Like, you knew when all of these students would walk out. Fortunately, nothing happened, and I think that shows kind of some progress, that no one took that step, and it also shows the heightened security, because I think my school personally did a great job at working towards keeping the students safe, all the while letting them voice their frustration and their concerns and their opinions. So, I would say kudos, and I would congratulate and clap on, my school personally, and I know for a fact that many other school districts throughout the nation follow the same protocol, and they did an absolutely amazing job. So, as far as that's amazing. Am I personally a fan of? I feel like from what I've seen, the walkouts, not workouts, working out lately, wow. A little cheesy. What I see from these walkouts, and what I see is that these students want change, and that's fine. But what I think that they're pushing for anti-guns, heavy gun regulation, and that's something that I'm not really about. I voiced more of my opinion on. I gave. That threw me off, bro. Trying to keep it serious. Got that sneeze going. Okay. I voiced my opinion on gun control and gun regulation in the previous episode. So one more time, if you want to go listen to what my opinions are and what Vince's are, go ahead and check that out. But I'm going to limit that for this episode. A lot of people, like you said, went out there to remember and to honor the 17 lives that were lost, and I respect that fully. If those are my intentions, if that's what I was thinking about, I would have gone. I don't know. That's just not what I'm about. I didn't really feel comfortable walking out of my class, and like I said, we're entitled to our own opinion, so that's okay.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. What?
You're not the only one that didn't walk out.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, and there's a good amount of students in all classrooms that didn't walk out. So, like, it's not like I feel very bad about it or anything. I feel horrible about the students, and they lost their lives. Like, I think that's something, I understand that we're remembering their lives by 17 seconds, 17 minutes, but to really think, that's 17 individual people that lost their life, that woke up that morning and didn't know it was going to be their last morning. They didn't know. And
exactly.
That's something we can learn from and something we could pull from. As horrible as it is, there's kind of a life lesson in everything, I guess. And it's, for me, what I pull that is just don't take anything for granted. It's a great feeling. I've done it before. I wake up and I'm like, wow, I got to wake up. And that day I felt so great because here I am sitting here talking to my best friend. How awesome is that? I don't know when the next time I could do that. Hopefully it's next week for a scheduled show. We intend to talk this weekend, Vince. But this could be the last time. So it's enjoying it, and appreciating every valuable second. So kind of to turn that from the walkout to kind of a life lesson. That's what I pull from it.
Yeah, every morning when I wake up, I don't check my phone right away. I don't go and brush my teeth or, yell at my parents. Like, I need 5 more minutes. The very first thing I do is I wake up and I just, God, like, thank you. I made it to the bonus round. I made it to another day of my life. And that might sound crazy for a 17-year-old boy, but in retrospect, for those 17 lives that were lost, it's really not crazy. And then also, if you take into account of, I drive every day. There's countless of fatal car accidents every single day. And whether you believe in God or not, it's just a matter of everything today. Today's like my day. And whatever happens, happens. I'm just so thankful to be able to wake up in such a great environment and just take it all in. And that's what I'm just so thankful for every single day.
That's powerful. Very powerful, man. That's something I want to work on, because I personally, my alarm's on my phone, so the natural thing for me is to hit the snooze or press stop to the alarm and pick up my phone. And that's something maybe I can try. Wake up in the morning and for 5 minutes or a minute, just sit there and lay and soak it all in. Like, wow, that's very powerful. And like you said, you're a 17-year-old kid. For you to have those thoughts, I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. You got your head on your shoulders, homie. Me being 17 as well, I think we should be proud of ourselves. So that's really awesome. I hope that thought impacted you guys. That's the whole purpose of this channel. It's to have fun, talk with our best friends, but also try to spread positivity and impact the most people that we possibly can. Yeah, it's crazy.
Always. Awesome. Yep.
Hey, man, you got something you're extremely excited about. Something big in the Star Wars world. Sadly, maybe it's because I'm just blind, but I've never really gotten into the whole Star Wars thing. I've watched a couple movies, kind of, I've watched some parts. I haven't watched, a full Star Wars movie. I haven't sat down to take the time out. I might walk into a room and there's Star Wars, whatever, but... and I'll watch it, but I really don't understand it. I respect it. I don't value it as much as you do. So I'm really excited to hear how excited you are about what just happened in Star Wars. So Vince, what happened?
So first off, I didn't have my Star Wars Saturday show, in which I'm the host, so I just rant about it. Because like Al mentioned, although he knows certain characters and he understands concepts, it's not necessarily his forte. He can't talk about it for 30 minutes straight like I can.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately.
So that being said, there's been major revelations in the Star Wars world. We can talk about Snoke coming back for Episode 9, which is just what? We can talk about the ending of Rebels. We can talk about the deleted scene with Captain Phasma. We can talk about all of that. However, I like my little hype man over there. However, maybe the biggest that has come out is for every single Star Wars movie that ever comes out, there's always a novelization that comes out along with it. So it's a beat-by-beat, page-by-page, exact dialogue from the movie with the narrator-like style to, push the story along further. Well, that being said, every deleted scene, every concept that wasn't worked into the movie is also included in this novelization. They did the same thing with Force Awakens, Rogue One, etc., etc. However, the reasons why people disliked The Last Jedi is the direction in which it took. But second is mostly because there's a lot of plot holes, Al. There's so many plot holes, and it's so hard to watch because you're like, well, what the heck just happened? It doesn't make any sense. So maybe the biggest one of all was just answered in the novel. Without further ado, I'm just going to jump right on into it. Kylo Ren, the most powerful Sith user besides Snoke or Sith Jedi, Dark Jedi, whatever you want to call him. And then you have Rey, the most powerful light side user, except for her master Luke. Both of them are extremely powerful. However, there's one difference. Kylo Ren has training, and Rey, like my little diagram here, and Rey has no training whatsoever. teaches her 2 lessons, but none of which are in lightsaber combat or anything like that. So, and if you guys know what scene I'm referring to in The Last Jedi, I don't know how you can miss it. So, when Rey takes down the Praetorian Guard, the most noble, fierce warriors in the entire galaxy, set up to protect the most powerful person in the entire galaxy, Snoke. These are highly trained soldiers. How is it that she takes on 4 of them in hand-to-hand combat with the lightsaber and then their counter lightsaber material weapons? And how is she able to withstand her own life? Kylo Ren, the guy that has training from the most powerful person in the entire galaxy, even he struggles to fight these 4 beings, because he fights 4, Rey fights 4, so there's 8 altogether. However, Rey seamlessly just whips through all of them. That was a long, extended recap. Let me just tell you the reasons why. In the novel, it was explained that when Rey touches Kylo's hand, that she absorbed all of his knowledge, all of his training, everything. Therefore, she was able to fight off the Praetorian Guard. No problem. Let me explain to you why this is absolutely stupid. To say it blatantly. Anakin touches Obi-Wan countless times and doesn't receive all of his knowledge, growth, strength, all of that. Ahsoka touches Anakin, so Ahsoka, this Padawan, who doesn't have a lot of training at the time, he touches him. She could have become the most powerful Jedi of all time, yet that never happened. What about when Sidious, the Emperor, puts his hand on Anakin? Does he transfer every single ancient Sith training to Anakin? No, because it happened in movie 2, and in movie 2, Anakin is still a Jedi, not a Sith user. So, Al, I don't know if you catch my drift here. I like the concept. I just wish the concept had good continuity. Instead, I feel like they just used that to quickly explain such a big plot hole, rather than actually having it make sense. Because if it made sense, it would have been the same with these other characters. I know you don't know what scene I'm talking about, but actually you do. You watch the clip. But in general, why do you think they made a decision like that? Just to clear the plot hole? What do you think?
All right, I have a quick question first. As far as the touching thing and transferring information. Now, I don't really know the whole background onto it. Maybe I don't want to say anything that, because I'm fairly oblivious. I'm not really educated on that. But my question is, were the people, because, for example, with, who's the Padawan that touched Anakin? Ahsoka. Was she in Clone Wars?
She was, yeah.
Okay, I know who that is. All right. So I'm just thinking, she touches Anakin. Was Anakin fully willing to give her all of that information, or was he retaining it? And what I mean by that is, maybe at that time, when you have the Praetorian Guard, correct?
Look at you.
Hey,
yeah, you're doing great.
Hey, maybe at that time, Kylo Ren's like, man, I can't do this by myself. I'm going to die. I need her help, right? What if, I need her to have my information to live? So he was fully 100% willing to give her that information, and maybe that's what it takes for her to take that all in. So that's what I'm thinking. There might be other specifics that I don't have an idea, but that's just what I'm thinking. As far as if the continuity of that's what I think. Maybe that's the reasoning behind it. I'm currently watching a TV show. I'm going to tie this into Friends really, really quickly. Friends, for 10 seasons, 10 straight years, it's hard to keep track with certain things, right? As hard as you're going to try, you can't go over thousands and thousands of scripts, right? You can't keep everything continuous. So, for example, in Friends, between one season and the other, I'm not sure you know who Monica is. I'm sure everyone knows who Monica is. Her room number, it changes. No one really knows. No one exactly knows that, but it changes. Or between season 3 and 5, Ross Geller stays 29 years old. You know, it's
Huh?
being able. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, there's other things. I actually watched a video on that, so that's maybe that. But Vince, what do you think about my kind of little theory and thought about how Kylo Ren's like, man, I need to live. I'm 100% willing to give her my information so that we can live. I don't know. That's just a thought.
No, when it comes to Star Wars, something I'm deeply passionate about, I would never lie. If you ask me right now, is I know for a fact Leia isn't Luke's sister. I wouldn't be like, yeah, I think you're onto something. No, I would blatantly tell you, no, you're way wrong. With this, however, you're onto something. I'm not going to tell you you're right because there's no clear-cut answer. Until there's an actual answer, I don't know. However, I like that theory a lot. And look at us little Star Wars theorists over here. I think that's fantastic. Because the biggest thing, one of the biggest things in the movie is Kylo Ren. He's a dark side user. However, his parents are Leia and Han Solo. That means two things. That means Leia, her dad is Vader, so he is dark side from Leia, but he is the light side from Han. Therefore, he's both good and bad mentally, right? So his bad side is like, Rey, I should kill you, but his good side says, Rey, I actually really need your help to defeat my master so we can run off together and rule the galaxy together. I'm kind of spoiling the movie for you a little bit, Al, but I know you don't mind too much.
No.
So the biggest point here is that he was afraid to fight his master because he knew he couldn't do it alone. So, Al, I think you're right. He purposely gave her that information. So it's like, look, I'm willing to give you everything I have because I need you.
Yeah.
I think we solved it.
Maybe. Hey, just maybe. That's the cool thing with theories. You never know. And Vince, I kind of want to tie this in with theories. I kind of tie this in really quickly. It's not something I want to spend a lot of time, but the theory of, the Big Bang Theory and the black hole theory. What do I mean by that? Shout out to Stephen Hawking, or his family. He passed away today. I'm sure many of you know. I watched the movie. That's how I kind of feel a little bit sentimental about it. It was a cool movie. As far as his ideologies regarding religion, I'm not fully on board with that. But I don't want to take it out of what he was able to do to our society and hope. This guy had 2 years. They said you have 2 years left, and that was back 40 years ago. And look at this man with ALS has lived all the way into the age of 76. So that's absolutely amazing. So shout out to him. But back to you, Vince. I kind of want to just tie it in.
Oh no, you're fine. It's God blessed him well when they said you're only gonna have 2 years, and he made that stretch, and that's quite the story.
Yeah.
Some good water, huh?
You like that? Yeah. Oh, I can't show you.
Like that?
I can't show you the logo.
That's funny.
So any other thoughts, opinions, sentiments regarding what just happened with this whole Star Wars? Kylo Ren?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Stephen Hawking for a second.
Oh,
no.
Man,
I have a lot of sentiment. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the family. Prayers going out to the family from both of us. I know it for a fact. But as far as Star Wars goes, it seems like to please the fans, new answers from The Last Jedi are coming out each and every day by Star Wars' official YouTube channel, Facebook page. They're slowly releasing deleted scenes just to please fans. Like, oh, you thought Phasma should be in the movie more? Well, here's a deleted scene with her. Well, it's actually doing the opposite, and fans are being like, yo, what the heck? Why didn't you include this scene? Because that scene's incredible. However, they're also trying to please fans in other ways by explaining these plot holes, like the one we just talked about. However, for fans like me, it's leaving me scratching my head a little bit. However, when talking about somebody like Al, it makes sense to me now, and I get it. And that's the way I'm going to interpret it every time I see that scene now. Shout out to my man, Al, right there.
Hey.
And,
Anytime.
And, maybe after you guys watch this video, you'll think the same thing too. But with that, I'm all done with my Star Wars for the day.
Yeah, all done. Vince, I had a quote.
Go for it.
But leaving the cliffhanger, I forgot. So feel bad about that. Do you have any quotes, anything to end this amazing show with?
Probably not.
Hey, you're honest. You're honest.
I didn't come prepared, bro.
I didn't either.
Tell you what, we're gonna give you a little to-do then. If we can't end with the quote, we're gonna give you a to-do that'll lead you to some great quotes. Go to iFunny, iFunny.com, iFunny the app, and look up Gru memes. Just hashtag Gru, and you're gonna tell these Gru memes. They're hilarious as heck. Highly would recommend checking it out. It's sure to put a smile on that face.
Yeah.
Al with a very strategic response there.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard of those Gru memes until Vince showed me, and that's a masterpiece right there.
They're fire, bro. It's like
So
Off-White
collab. I remember we talked about that a long time ago. I actually know what Off-White is now.
Season 1, bro. That's crazy. That was a long time ago.
Good times.
Goodness.
Great times. Hey Vince, I have a quote, and then we're at that time where it's time to end it all. Or end the show. Or this show. Not
End this episode.
end this episode. Yes. Alright.
Al, is that a noose I see hanging from the ceiling? I'm sorry. We try hard to spread positivity,
Yeah, that's what we
I don't know
do.
if you guys can tell.
Yeah, that's what we do. Vince. Well, you can tell who thinks very deep and dark.
Me and my Star Wars and my that joke,
Alright.
We try to spread positivity. We also try to make you laugh when we can.
Yeah, that's big facts. Alright, end this episode. This episode, not at all.
Oh, we're ending it all after this. All. It's all ending.
It's just gonna be Leo, bro.
That's not funny.
Sorry. Alright. Oh, we're having a great time. This is what it's all about. It's all about.
Yep.
Alright, Vince. I got the
Getting
quote.
that
I think
raw Vince now.
think you're gonna like it.
Okay, let's hear it. Oh.
Shout out to the fucking
Daddy
the ham and the daddy daycare. All right, here's the quote.
Alright.
You're killing me. You're really killing me.
That's what it is?
No.
Uh,
Okay, falling down. What?
I missed.
Oh my god. I can't. I just can't. Alright. We're distracting the people of the quote, man.
Alright, let's hear the quote.
Alright. Falling down is an accident, but staying down is a choice.
That's a good one. Is it anonymous?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Alright, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another weird Leo Bros show. I hope you enjoyed it. We had two great things that we talked about. Vince, as always, loves spending time with you. Love spending time with you guys, our Leo gang. We need to start calling you guys that more. I want to apologize. I forgot to say, we didn't forget. We intended to upload on Tuesday, but there were some technical difficulties where we just couldn't. But here we are on Thursday. So Have a great day, guys. Great rest of your day. If you're watching this in the morning, have a great day. Have a great night if you're watching this at night. Just have a great one. So that's all I have to say. With that, I was out.
Yeah, guys, have a great day, night, whatever it may be. Thanks for kicking it with us, as always. Our zaniness, craziness. Let us know if you got this far. Leave the time code down there. Al, maybe one thing we should start doing is maybe certain people came for the walkout, maybe certain people came for Star Wars. Maybe we should leave the time codes in the description what time we start talking about each subject or topic.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
That's something I can definitely do because I can definitely do that because I'm the one who's editing and all of those things. So yeah, for sure.
Dope. Yeah. So with that, guys, I'm Vince. Thanks so much for listening to us, and see you next time.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace, guys.